There are many superheroes and antiheroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that use extreme levels of violence to bring down their enemies. Most of the superheroes introduced to the MCU since the franchise kicked off with 2008's Iron Man have used their good natures, strong hearts, and indomitable wills to defeat their villains. However, there are many superheroes that push their methods to the extreme, using aggression, brutality, and violence to get the job done. Often, these heroes' violent outbursts have stayed within the bounds of Marvel Studios' family-friendly nature, but with more mature stories being developed. This is changing. 7 Bucky Barnes, or the Winter Soldier, regularly uses weapons. Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes has only become a superhero in the MCU quite recently, as he broke free of his Hydra conditioning following 2014's Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Most of Barnes' violent tendencies presented themselves during his career as the Winter Soldier, where he was certainly regarded as a villain, and this role saw him carry out some heinous acts. After killing Tony Stark's parents with his bare hands, eliminating many threats to Hydra, and making attempts on Nick Fury and Steve Rogers' lives, the Winter Soldier has cemented himself as one of the MCU's most violent characters. 6 Matt Murdock, or Daredevil, rarely pulls his punches. Charlie Cox debuted as Matt Murdock's Daredevil in Marvel Television's self-titled Daredevil series, but joined the MCU proper with brief appearances in Spider-Man, No Way Home, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and Echo. Daredevil's mature tone meant that Matt Murdock could fully display his brutal nature, often bringing down his adversaries by using his boxing experience, which can be a very bloody affair. This hasn't fully been seen in the MCU yet, though some of this violence was seen in 2024's Echo. It's possible that Matt Murdock's Daredevil will continue to show his more violent tendencies in his future MCU appearances. 5 Marc Spector, or Moon Knight, has a very violent alter. Released as part of the MCU's Phase 4, Moon Knight was the first Marvel Studios project to border on a mature rating, as it saw Oscar Isaac's titular antihero commit some brutal acts. However, most of Moon Knight's most violent moments weren't seen on screen, performed instead by Marc Spector's hidden third alter, Jake Lockley. Lockley made his first official appearance in Moon Knight's finale, which saw him murder Arthur Harrow without hesitation, but he had massacred several other individuals throughout the series. Moon Knight would perhaps benefit from a TV-MA or R rating if he returns in the MCU's future. 4 Wolverine uses his animalistic features to bring down his enemies. Wolverine hasn't yet joined the MCU officially, but 2024's Deadpool 3 will mark the return of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine from Fox's X-Men universe. While the casting for the MCU's new Wolverine is yet to be announced, Jackman has delivered some of the most violent moments of superhero action during his career as the Clawed Mutant. Most notably, 2017's Logan, which was initially Jackman's final project as Wolverine, utilized its R rating to allow Wolverine to show off his brutality. Wolverine certainly put his claws to good use in Logan, and the same is set to occur in the R-rated Deadpool 3. 3 Frank Castle, or the Punisher, is an outright anti-hero. While Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock is a very violent addition to the MCU, he's got nothing on John Bernthal's Frank Castle, A.K.A. The Punisher. Castle uses extreme violence to eliminate criminals in New York City, and his gruesome anti-hero career was seen in full in Marvel Television's Daredevil Season 2. And The Punisher. Bernthal is set to return as the Punisher in Daredevil, Born Again, so the upcoming series would benefit from an R rating, and since Castle could have a bright future in projects such as Thunderbolts and Armor Wars, more mature MCU projects will likely be in the works. 2 Wanda Maximoff, or the Scarlet Witch, murdered Earth 838 Seconds Illuminati. Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda Maximoff didn't embrace her violent nature until she embraced her role of the Scarlet Witch in WandaVision and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Arguably, Maximoff became a villain in Phase 4, but her prior career as a superhero means she could return to the MCU as a steadfast Avenger. Even so, during Multiverse of Madness, the Scarlet Witch brutally murdered almost every member of Earth 838's Illuminati, not only turning Reed Richards into spaghetti, but also crushing Maria Rambeau's Captain Marvel and bisecting Captain Carter, proving that she is one of the MCU's most violent heroes. 1 Wade Wilson, or Deadpool, has committed horrible crimes. While some superheroes in the MCU use moderate violence to beat or injure their adversaries, Wade Wilson's Deadpool goes one step further, showing no qualms about simply murdering his foes. Ryan Reynolds brought Deadpool to life in his self-titled franchise in Fox's X-Men universe, and will bring his overt violence and hilarious comedy into the MCU's Phase 5, with Deadpool 3 set to be the only MCU feature film released in 2024. Luckily, Deadpool 3 has been given an R rating, which will allow Deadpool to bring his full brutality into the Marvel Cinematic Universe to the delight of audiences everywhere.